The field. Every neighborhood has one. Grass, concrete, or dirt. The stage is the same. The rules, unwavering. And the goals, beautiful.
It goes in! Improbable scenes!
It's where the dream begins to achieve the ultimate victory.
The underdogs have prevailed once again!
One cup, open to all.
There is a celebration in Orlando.
Now, America's oldest soccer tournament is back.
Oh, it's incredible!
The field doesn't care if you're a pro or trying to be one. It only asks, how bad do you want it?
It's unbelievable!
The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
8 teams enter into the 4th round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. The best finishers from 2022 in Major League Soccer. Among them, Philadelphia Union, the runners-up of last year's MLS Cup final and semifinalists of this year's CONCACAF Champions League. More games for them in a crowded fixture schedule as they pay a visit to Minnesota United, who are through to this round of the competition after beating Detroit City last time out. Chris Whittingham and Chris Nurse here on the commentary of this one. And Chris, trying to avenge defeat last year in the round of 16 against the USL League One side.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's going to be Philadelphia's motivation. You know, last year they were runners-up. This year, can they go one step further and become the winners? Yeah,
that is no doubt the big step for Philadelphia, for Minnesota, trying to overcome last year losing to Union Omaha, and Jung Sang-bin will be among the players in this Minnesota side to try and help them do it.
Yeah, very important for a player for this team, looking to bring the offensive output. But for Minnesota also, I think they're trying to overturn a bad run of form. Today would be a great night to get themselves a winning streak.
Yeah, without a win in Major League Soccer in their last 5. Philadelphia, meanwhile, in the middle of a season in which they were so deep in the CONCACAF Champions League, and that's difficult for MLS clubs to handle sometimes.
Yeah, and I think Philadelphia a little bit frustrated. I think everybody's a little bit surprised at how underperforming maybe they have been so far, but they played a lot of games in a short period of time. Almost half of the MLS season, 14 games they've already played so far. So it's going to be interesting to see as they drop out some of the tournaments if they're able to pick up form.
And Mikal Ua will lead the line tonight. He's got a couple of big scoring games, but maybe not scoring consistently enough.
Yeah, five goals in 10 games is a pretty good return so far. Almost 1 goal every 2 games. That's going to see if he's going to put the ball in the back of the net tonight.
And asked to lead the line tonight for Jim Curtin's men. Jim Curtin making 7 changes from the team that played last time out at the weekend against New York Red Bulls. Andre Blake, Nathan Harrell, Damian Lona, Jack McGlynn, the only players that stay. 5 changes for Minnesota. A change in goal with Clint Irwin coming in. Coleman into a back 5. Asani Dotson, Rosales into the midfield, and Mender Garcia into the forward line. As they're underway in the 4th round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, Minnesota United playing host to Philadelphia Union. And that's Tuesday night at Allianz Field.
That's one thing that the Cup competition brings. With so many changes, you see it often the first 15, 20 minutes, a little bit of a lack of cohesion and chemistry between the team, but it also makes the game very unpredictable because neither team knows really what to expect.
And for Philadelphia Union, changes largely occurring in the front 6, as it were, as Mikal Ua trying to press to win it back here off of this back 3. Put under pressure there was Miguel Tapias, and forced to just boot it out to touch was Clint Irwin. And straight away, the Dane has come flying out of the traps.
A little bit of an erratic start there for Minnesota.
Nathan Harrell to take the throw in. Split the right back duties with Olivier Baizo this year. As Joaquin Torres tries the ambitious volley. And skied into the Wonderwall, the supporter section here in Minnesota. Balloons coming off of a 3-2 defeat of the weekend away at Vancouver Whitecaps. Brian White, Simon Betcher getting the goals for Manny Sartini's men. Michael Boxall and Jung Sang-bin with the consolation goals as Adrian Heath's side continues to try and find their way. Struggling in the league, particularly in the absence of Emmanuel Reynoso, who's no doubt a surprise to the club. He did not report for training camp in the beginning of the season. He has finally flown back to Minnesota. Speaking with Adrian Heath, he said it's going to be a couple weeks still doing medical tests. Eventually fitness tests will come and have to sort the situation out with the league as well. But sooner they can get him back, better for Minnesota United.
Both coaches were so excited when they spoke about Renault. So even Jim Curtin was saying he's his favorite number 10 in the league. So, you know, a very exciting player that we're excited to see get back on the field. But I think Philadelphia are very happy that he's not on the field tonight.
Played into the back there by Lud into his own teammate. Forward there from Kemar Lawrence. Sliced awkwardly away by Damian Lowe, and it will be a corner early doors here to Minnesota United.
Very scrappy opening 3 minutes for both teams. Some lackluster clearances, a little bit lack of focus, concentration, not too much quality in the passes. Going to be interested to see which teams they can settle down first and start to connect some passes. Jim Curtin spoke about the Red Bulls game at the weekend, how ugly it was in terms of being in a soccer match, and this game tonight hasn't started much better for both teams.
Segment Jung to take the corner. Whipped in towards the near post. It's flicked through. Going there, Minnesota Black to pounce on it. And now a chance to break here. Jesus Bueno into the side tonight. Only started one game in the league. Fills in for compatriot Jose Martinez, who is out with a hamstring injury. McGlynn around the corner. This ball out wide. Unable to meet its intended target, Matt Real. Philadelphia left back in for Kai Wagner tonight.
It's going to be interesting to see it as the game settles down. If Minnesota are able to use the energy of Kemar Lawrence and DJ Taylor in those wide positions.
And it is Taylor getting forward here. Nice first time ball from Jung. Booted away there by Lowe.
Both those wide players have the tenacity and the energy to get up and down those flanks in offense, but also to double up and get back into defense to support the back three. How they manage to utilize those could be key to Minnesota controlling this game.
In the early stages, it does look like it will be a hotly contested game. A lot of energy in it as Dotson attempts to switch out to Lawrence. There again, Damian Lowe, who certainly up for the challenge at the weekend against the Red Bulls. Only completed a third of his passes. Was not exactly a ton of pass completion in that game, but look at the other stats. 4 tackles, 4 clearances, 2 blocks, an interception, 10 defensive recoveries, and 15 duels won out of 23, earning him a spot in the MLS Team of the Week. He was absolutely everywhere in the game, up for the challenge that the Red Bulls propose. Jung down there for Dotson, who sliced through it and into the stand.
Great chance there for Dotson on his left foot. Just sliced the ball a little more than he would have liked. Good delivery from Lawrence, laid off nicely. Just would have liked to strike through that a little bit cleaner. Definitely wants that one back.
Sonny Dotson, who last year tore his ACL. Spent more of the year than he would have wanted watching Minnesota United rather than playing for them.
Just that game against Red Bulls. Jim Curtin was talking about how it was a dog fight. You know, players just needed to be in there, fight and compete and throw their bodies on the line. That's what that game required against Red Bulls, and I think that's one of Damian Lowe's strong characteristics. You know, he's a competitor. He wants to compete. He's strong. He's fearful. He's brave. He puts himself in those situations that some people pull away from.
Interesting that Curtin seemed to use him more in the Champions League, which does make sense given his pedigree in CONCACAF. He played 50 times for Jamaica. Minnesota trying to play out from the back here through reserve goalkeeper Clint Irwin. There for the ball of Rosales, and Lowe will play it back to his fellow Jamaican teammate Andre Blake, who nearly passes it into trouble there. Sangbin Jung unable to get his foot wrapped around it and find Ender Garcia in the area, but Philadelphia nearly causing themselves problems.
Definitely something a little bit different to the start of this game, with both defenses and goalkeepers having some definite edgy moments. Blake here just holding on to that ball a little bit longer and putting himself under a little bit more pressure and almost getting caught out.
Blake, who is in his 10th season with the Union. First ever 3-time winner of the MLS Goalkeeper of the Year award. After yet another stellar season. Here's Bueno, Venezuelan international.
And we were speaking briefly, Chris, about the conversation we had with Jim Curtin and how he talks about his players and believes in his players, even the ones that haven't been able to start so many matches this season. The belief he has and the high regard that he has in him. He says that Real is one of the best fullbacks in the league, and despite not getting to compete so much, you asked him, you know, is it going to be time soon before he gets frustrated and, you know, starts to look for opportunities elsewhere? And, you know, he said he's coached him since he's 10 years old. He's probably tired of hearing his voice, but he's such a great character, and, you know, he's getting the opportunity to go out there tonight and compete and show that he wants to be in the starting lineup.
Talking about the Union left back, Matt Real. Adrian Heath, who's had a much different challenge than he might have expected this year. Marking out instructions in his technical area. Early days, who was solid defensively, score from set pieces. Recent times, difficulty to find that winning formula. Formula to find goals and chances. Young South Korean among the players that will be asked to aid in that effort. 21 years of age, arriving from Wolves in the Premier League.
You're starting to see that trend in the league. Younger players coming from some of the top European leagues into the MLS and into the American leagues at younger ages than we're used to seeing them. You have Campana kind of made a similar move from Wolves into Miami.
Yep.
You're starting to see the age, the trend starting to change over time. Just speaks to the growth and development of soccer in the United States.
I think it also speaks to the most recent roster mechanism added to the league, the Under-22 initiative, which was added to give 3 more spots for teams to add players under the age of 22, and allows them to add them without consideration of transfer fee. There is a maximum salary, but they hit the salary cap at $150,000. So a player like Sang-Min Jung, acquire from a big club, counts against your salary budget for $150,000 and can add up to 3 of them, depending on your roster compliance. Teams are taking advantage. Philly, of course, bringing through so many homegrowns into their side. Just today, and Harriel, and Real, and McGlynn. This ball in behind in towards Sang-Min Jung. Goes out for a goal kick.
And I think these opening 10 minutes, Chris, have been a byproduct of the number of changes that we've seen. Between the two teams, 13 changes from the teams that played at the weekend. 5 changes from Minnesota and 7 changes for Philadelphia. And naturally, you know, you see that lack of cohesion and understanding between the team. But as the game progresses, I imagine things are going to settle down. But it's not been the best opening 10 minutes so far due to those changes.
You'll probably see that around the Open Cup tournament. So many changes in MLS teams in particular, facing the specter of midweek football next Wednesday, as well as this Wednesday. And then from a Union standpoint, they've already played 6 midweek matches, getting all the way through to the semifinal of the Champions League. As they lose out to LAFC as Ender Garcia has stayed down. He had his lower back, it would appear. Let's take a look at that coming together.
Doesn't look like there's anything really malicious in that. Maybe it's just one of those ones where the knee hits a sweet spot. Nothing really dangerous or malicious. But this is it's a good problem that Jim Curtin has, right? All the games and fixtures and competitions they're in. When you're a good team and you're doing well, it's a good challenge that you have more games to play than everybody else, because naturally you're in more competitions. They have US Open Cup, CONCACAF Champions League, regular MLS scheduling. You know, it's a good problem that he has to deal with. And the top teams find a way to play those games and win. So far, they find a way to get there. Now the next hurdle is, you know, can they start to take triples and win all those trophies?
I imagine as a coach, it's a real carrot for players who don't play week in, week out in MLS. If we go on a cup run, then you'll play more.
Yeah, and Jim Curtin spoke about these type of tournaments and competitions. He said that players need more of these games where it's one and done, where it's everything on the line. You either perform today or your chances are gone. He thinks it brings out an extra level of performance in the players.
As this Open Cup tournament is the 108th edition of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. One that Jim Curtin has won a couple times as a player. As runner-up as a coach 3 separate times. 2014, 2015, and 2018. Last year going out at the first attempt, losing to eventual champions Orlando City. Minnesota winning a couple rounds against Forward Madison of USL League One and Colorado Rapids before going out to Union Omaha of USL League One. Defeat that Minnesota are still smarting from. Dotson trying to slide it in behind it towards DJ Taylor. Well, Taylor and Lawrence given more of a license to go forward, playing in wing-back roles as opposed to their usual left and right-back roles. The extra cover of another center-back behind them. Taylor in towards Garcia, who is fit to continue. Designated player who joined from Once Caldas in Colombia. August of last year, only had the 1 goal in the run-in. Got 2 in the league so far this year. Minnesota still looking for that long-term DP answer up top. And now the competition between Garcia, the Colombian, and Luis Amarilla, Paraguayan, who's not on the bench today. Either team with 7 players available from the bench as opposed to their usual 9 that they get in league play. Some players that can change it on the bench for either side. Franco Fragapane, Bongohukle Klangwane, the South African, available to Minnesota. Julian Carranza, Daniel Gazdag available to Jim Curtin, should they be needed.
And they are some players who can come in and change the game. Attacking-minded players who have the quality just to flip the game on a dime of a coin. They're able to put the ball in the back of the net or provide opportunities for their teammates. And I think that's what the opening 15 minutes will be lacking. It's just been lacking a little bit of that quality to make the difference so far.
Lawrence. This interchange edge of the area. Chung and Lawrence. Catching practice there for Andre Blake.
His positioning and timing is so impeccable that he makes those crosses look easy to deal with, when really they're not that simple, and other goalkeepers struggle with something like that. He makes it look so straightforward and easy.
15 clean sheets in league play a year ago, top in the league in save percentage. He conceded 26 goals between the sticks for Philadelphia Union. Here's Lud, who's giving it away. Torres now to take advantage. He'll have a hit. And for a second time tonight, that has drawn the jeers of the home supporters.
You could see from the reaction of the goalkeeper, he was never threatened by that shot, Irwin. Does well to win possession of the ball here. Just gets it at his feet. Doesn't get enough drive on it to stop it, to get it from going over the crossbar. It was always rising all the way.
One thing that Jim Curtin has talked about is trying to find attacking solutions, but not trying to always be the hero. Create that brilliant moment from 25 yards every time. Certainly an adjustment of system for Joaquin Torres, arriving from CF Montreal, who are much more of a possession-based team. As Garcia wards off the challenge there of Jack Elliott. Comes for Sang-Bin Chung. Boxall taking a step forward. The club since its expansion season 2017. 7 years in the league for Minnesota United. Year number 5 in this sparkling venue.
hear the fans trying to give the teams a lift and bring a little bit of energy to this occasion tonight.
Strong challenge in the air there from Rosales, and trying to hit on the break quickly, the Honduran. Bueno dispossessed, and Bueno fouled. Free kick to the Union.
Rosales just has to be a little bit careful in the middle of the park. He's very tenacious, putting himself into tackles. He doesn't want to get himself an early booking and have to be walking on eggshells for the remainder of the game, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful.
Player who had his option to buy exercised by Minnesota from Independiente in the Panamanian League. Started once in MLS play to date. Player chance to take their opportunity. Minnesota arriving into the stage of the competition, having beaten Detroit City of the USL Championship in the third round. We're 1-0 down in that game. It's a nice ball into the channel here for Garcia. Shouldered off of there by Lowe. Referee fine to let play continue. So strong but fair in the judgment of Fotis Bezakos.
Damian Lowe just letting him know who's the boss in that situation there.
Jack McGlynn.
Yep, I got you.
Player has been trusted in the big occasions despite just 19 years of age. Another academy player that likely on his way to the Under-20 World Cup for the U.S. men. Fans dive deeper into the thrills and drama of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Join the conversation on Twitter and Instagram at Open Cup, and on Facebook at Official Open Cup. See the goals, see all the highlights, all the cup sets. Still 8 teams left in the competition from the USL Championship. Besides from any division below that in the U.S. pyramid. Into the 4th round. Mentioned that game that Minnesota played against Detroit City of USL Championship. They were down by a 1-0 in that game. And eventually find their way through 3 goals in quick succession. Fragapane, Iwe, Amaria. That ball goes harmlessly out of play for a goal kick. Steve Matthews opened the scoring on the day for Detroit. Had them dreaming Open Cup dreams, but dashed by the Loons in the end. Here's Brent Coleman.
It's been interesting because we spoke about Ura's 5 goals that he has so far this season, and Jim Curtin speaking about how they need to get more out of him, and you could definitely see that in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Despite being such a potent goal scorer so far this season, they've struggled to find him good service, to get him opportunities to get shots off on goal so far. A lot of the work he's been doing has been in and around the middle third, where he's not very threatening for the goalkeeper. So it's going to be interesting as the game progresses, how they're able to press the ball and find Ura in more dangerous goal-scoring positions.
Rosales losing out. So did McGlynn. Comes here from Michael Boxall. And Irwin. Brought in to very much be the second goalkeeper. A year ago, it was more of a competition between Dane St. Clair and Tyler Miller. It was actually coming into the season, Miller the favorite. It's only upon an injury from Miller that St. Clair was not only able to take over, but eventually become an MLS All-Star. MLS All-Star MVP. World Cup participant with Canada. St. Clair on the bench, but very much the unquestioned #1. Bringing in a more veteran Irwin, who does have plenty of MLS experience with Colorado and Toronto, to take that #2 role. Sang-Min Chung. And another free kick given this time in the direction of Minnesota.
There's definitely opportunity here for Philadelphia to catch Minnesota in a counter-attack. Both Lawrence and Taylor bomb very high up the field when they're attacking, which leaves the flanks completely exposed on transition. If Philadelphia are able to get possession of that ball and transition quickly, there's opportunity to take advantage of them in those wide areas.
Sang-Min Jung has provided some good set-piece service since arriving at the club. Put this one in, again low. Lawrence really redirect it through. Let's come for Lod. His low cross is swept away there by Ua. Back doing the defensive work. Corner to come here for the Loons. Set middle of the pack of the MLS Western Conference with 12 points from 10. Union in a similar position on 14 points from 10 and 7th in the East. Imagines they'll get on a run in league play after finishing their CONCACAF Champions League tenure. Sang-Min Jung to whip it in. There's one at the near post there by Nathan Harriel. Rosales is trying to direct it in towards the area. The attempt to control does come off there. That second touch unable to be controlled there. Sonny Dotson working his way back into this side in full. Wants to start more, wants to play more. Being managed coming back from an ACL. It was the 31st pick in the college draft and then quickly became a very important figure for Adrian Heath. Initially at fullback, eventually into central midfield as we do have a full-time result from the earliest kickoff in the Open Cup round of 32. Inter Miami through an own goal. Not just about enough to beat USL Championship opposition Charleston Battery. On top of the East and made life difficult at times for Miami, but they're through to the round of 16. Tapias. Big defensive addition coming from Pachuca in Mexico. As now Taylor charged forward in towards that penalty area, but his progress impeded there by Bueno. The early break as Torres plays it forward in towards Ua, but too much on it. And easily handled there by Clint Irwin.
Good positioning there from Irwin, just to read the play and be in the right position to make it look like a straightforward opportunity to gain possession of the ball. But you saw glimpses there of the threat that Taylor brings on that right-hand side of the field, driving inside, just unable to release the ball at the right time, but you can see the danger and the threat that his pace brings when he drives the ball inside.
Brett Coleman. Very much Mr. Minnesota United with the club since their NASL days back in 2013. His tenure with Minnesota began, and as last year the injuries started to pick up. And central defensive position, Adrian Heath trusting longtime Minnesota man. So fouled off it there. Minnesota brought a few players with them from their days in the North American Soccer League, but Coleman, the one that remains, plenty of tenure as well. Header one there by Tapias. More work for him to do. Lod. His first time volley is up towards Sang-Min Jung, who's limping away from that challenge. Try and get on with it here as Rosales will play it in behind, in towards Benter Garcia. And Lowe, I've been waiting for Andre Blake to come out and claim, but Lowe taking no chances by conceding the corner.
And they've been fairly threatening when Minnesota found Garcia making those runs in behind. That's basically been the most threatening opportunities they've had in this first half. His pace, his tenacity, making those runs in behind has put that Philadelphia defense under pressure, and they've not dealt with it so well so far.
The tradition of scarves waving before the corner happens on this near side where the crowd is situated for tonight, but Sang-Min Jung's service over everyone's head.
Just overhit that corner, no one attacking it from the far post.
We have one other game that's laid on the Eastern time window. The champions, Orlando City, the holders of the Open Cup, on the brink of elimination as Kamil Jóźwiak has Charlotte FC ahead by 1-0. Surprise result at the moment is in New England, where Pittsburgh Riverhounds lead by 1-0. Denny Griffin with the goal for Bob Lilly's side, and the potential for upset in that one. Keep you up to date on all the other games. First game's in charge for a pair of managers. Troy Lesesne in charge of New York Red Bulls. They lead DC United by 1-0. And for Frank Klopas, a third tenure in charge of Chicago Fire, and for the fired Ezra Hendrickson, Chicago leads St. Louis City, the MLS newcomers, by 1-0.
And it's always a question mark when these mid-season or early season coaching changes are made. You know, how do the players respond and react? Sometimes it's not always down to the head coach. There's other things that happen in organizations that can sometimes have an impact on the players' performances or the results of the team. So it's going to be interesting to see in Chicago if there's an immediate positive response or if there's still more rebuilding necessary to get that team back to successful ways.
It's interesting. We talk about coaching changes when commentating on this match, as these are two of the teams with the most stability in the league, as the offside flag is up there. That's Maka'ua. Talked about him plenty, but I don't believe we mentioned at all his strike partner tonight, Chris Donovan, signed after impressing at the MLS Next Pro level. And confirmation of full time. The Open Cup holders are out. Orlando City in the fourth round. So we will have a new champion for the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup here in 2023. Here's Taylor. He'll lift the cross into the area. Away from Harriel, but only as far as Lawrence. And Joseph Rosales crashing it off of low.
Nice idea there from Rosales, but the ball just didn't drop down quick enough for him to get good connection on it.
The tournament, it's always wide open, but it could feel even more wide open now that the champions are out, as Robin Lewis is going to see yellow here for breaking up his progress forward here from Nathan Harriel.
Yeah, you can see he makes no contact with the ball, all player. Could say it's harsh to go into the book for that on his first foul, but
it's a late one.
Definitely slowed down play when it looked like Philadelphia were going on the counter-attack.
Just to finish the point on the stability of these two clubs, Adrian Heath, the only manager that Minnesota United have known in their MLS era. 7th year in charge. A contract extension last year. And Jim Curtin in his 9th year in charge of the Philadelphia Union. These two coaches, the only coaches that have led their teams to the MLS Cup playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons.
And they both had a tremendous amount of respect for each other when we spoke to them during the course of the week.
Talking highly about the work of the other.
I wonder if that respect transcends to the touchlines when they compete each other as this game progresses and things get a little bit tighter as the game goes on.
We meet each other too often being in opposite conferences. First ever time meeting in the Open Cup. Inside Andres Pereira. This ball does not see the sympathies of the referee, as going down there was Harriel, remonstrating towards the assistant referee. So many clear-cut opportunities in these first 31 minutes.
This can sometimes be the story of cup competitions, you know. It can sometimes be more about heart, passion, determination, more so than the quality on the pitch, as we've seen on display tonight so far. It's not been the highest quality game, but Adrian Heath's teams normally find a way to win. You know, whether they're playing good or bad, they find a way to win. And Jim Curtin's team, Philadelphia, despite playing ugly at the weekend, still found a way to win. So you have two coaches here that, despite maybe not always playing the most beautiful soccer. They find a way to win games. And I think that's very important for a team to be successful also. You're not going to be fantastic in the style that you play every week in, week out, but you still need to find a way to win the game.
One thing, though, that has eluded Minnesota United so far in their league campaign is a victory here at Allianz Field. The victories, the 3 draws, and the 1 defeat. We're singing of Wonderwall as yet. Here's Seung-min Jung trying to change that as his low cross is cut out there. And towards Bender Garcia. Claimed here by Blake.
You see when Andre Blake gets the ball from those plays, he's looking for the quick distribution. He's looking for the wide players or the attacking players to quickly transition and make runs in behind, because he has the ability and the distribution to hit those long balls on the side volley and kickstart the attack.
Real caught. Advantage awarded. Here's Andres Pereira. In the offseason from Orlando City. The 3 big acquisitions to add to the depth in this side. Along with Lowe and Torres, all of whom start tonight. Lowe from Miami, Torres from Montreal. Bueno under pressure, but eludes Robin Lod. Chip around the corner there and towards Donovan, but Dapias in the way. As far as this Minnesota back 3 is held up. Garcia was being held there by Damian Lowe, and straight away, yellow out of the chest pocket of Fotis Bazakos.
You can see that this referee has a low tolerance for petulance. If it's a foul, he feels obstructing play and stopping the other team from progressing. He's quick to distribute his yellow cards. He's been consistent for both teams in that aspect.
That's all players want, right? Is the consistency. Both number 17s having their name taken. Lod and Lowe. Sonny Dotson. No way there, Jack Elliott. Consummate professional in this back 4 for Philadelphia. Being a 4th round pick in the college super draft, 77 overall back in 2017. A club in the Union that have largely eschewed the draft in recent years under Urs Tanner. No doubt impact from the MLS super draft. Regular member of that central defensive partnership, as Torres has some space to run into now. Here is the diminutive Argentinian in towards Ua, into the area. His strike towards goal actually forces Irwin to palm it over the bar. Thought that was more of a crossing position, but he went for goal and forced Irwin into some work.
Yeah, I agree here, Chris. I'm not sure whether Euro is going for the crosshair for the shot, but forces a save out the goalkeeper, and that's actually our first shot on target we've had in this opening 35 minutes of the game. Both teams fairly level pegging for possession, but that's the first shot that we've had on target in favor of Philadelphia.
Seemingly from nothing, a bit of a threat there towards Clint Irwin. McGlynn, left-footed specialist over this corner. In towards that penalty spot. Lowe got something on it. Something decent. It's going straight wide of target.
Kamar Lawrence there protesting for a free kick. I think if that finds itself on target, Damian Lowe gives his team the lead. Great delivery, gets good contact on the header, just wide of the upright.
Lawrence, one of 3 Jamaica internationals on the pitch tonight. Winner of 75 caps for the Reggae Boys. No way there, Matt Real. Union emerging from that danger there. Nathan Harriel. Minnesota closing down defensively, giving a ton of room for Philadelphia to play their usual transitional, direct game. And the answer so far. Posed many questions themselves. Coleman forced to go back here to Irwin.
The Minnesota back three do a great job of maximizing space when they're building up from the back, making it very difficult for you and Donovan to put pressure and close those passing angles. But they'll be fairly frustrated with the service that they've had, or the lack of service that they've had from their teammates. But in terms of their defensive effort and the willingness to close down and go and put pressure on the defense, they've done a great job of that so far in this opening half.
Nice step in the way there from Rosales. Forward ball there to Garcia. Able to find a teammate. Johnson for Lod. Michael Boxall. First player to hit 100 Minnesota United appearances, now on 177. Only hit the 200 mark. Should he stay fit by the end of the year? A dangerous ball there from Coleman, but it finds its target in Taylor.
I think Coleman got lucky there. But the intent was right. When Minnesota moved the ball quickly and switched the point of attack, both Lawrence and Taylor are in fantastic positions, high and wide on their own in 1v1 situations.
Build up here. Sharp from Minnesota. Perhaps going into the game as Taylor has won his side of throw. Mentioned Philadelphia finishing as runners-up of this competition. The Loons did as well back in 2019 when Atlanta United won the competition. Last one played before COVID interrupted the 2020 and 2021 editions of this tournament. As it's flicked back here and towards Kamar Lawrence.
No doubt finishing runners-up left a bitter taste in Philadelphia's mouth, but it also gives them the belief to know that they've been that far in the competition and the motivation to want to do it again, but this time to go one step further and walk away as champions. But they're going to need a little bit more than what they've shown in this opening first half.
Nice 1-2 there with Taylor. Michael Boxall strike is into the back there of Pereira. Get back onto it here. Rosales going for goal. Blake was scrambling. I was happy to see it go the wrong side of that far post.
Yeah, not the worst effort there from Rosales. You could see by Blake's reaction that it wasn't far away at all by him scrambling across the goal line. Just opens up onto his left foot here and tries to curl it into the bottom corner. Andre Blake wasn't taking any chances on that.
Tapias forced into the concession of a throw.
It's been a very cagey first half. Both teams kind of feeling each other out, trying to figure out where they're strong, where they're weak. Expect to see the second half open up a lot more as both teams try to become a little bit more offensive.
As Pereira's balling towards Donovan. A bit too much on it. So a manifestation of their playing styles, at least this season. They've always been direct, but not quite brought the stardust. At times last year would hit for 5 and 6 for fun. That would be best goal differential in MLS League history. This year, not quite finding the fireworks. Minnesota without their playmaking number 10, Emmanuel Reynoso. Been the same attacking force. So much of their attack goes through them. Runners off him, strikers running in behind. All designed for him to find passes, and it's not happening this year. Rosales, instead of having another crack, goes for Lawrence. He will get another bite at it, though, as his strike. It's awkwardly away, and out for the goal kick. Didn't take a nick. Just didn't catch it cleanly.
Been active here in this first half. Rosales picks up the ball on the edge of the box here, plays it wide, makes his run into the box, gets it back, just unable to again get good connection, be clinical in the final third, but he's been very active in the midfield for Minnesota in his first half.
Not a ton of goals tonight in the Open Cup. Only one so far in the games that have kicked off. One apiece, I should say. As I mentioned, Miami beat Charleston Battery. Charlotte beat Orlando City. Still 1-0 Pittsburgh over New England. Laid on at Gillette Stadium. Riverhounds are the first USL side to progress into the next round of the competition. Red Bulls still lead by a goal to nil with 5 minutes left to play in the 90 over DC United. Miguel Tapias. With Harry on away for the throw. Expecting perhaps an upset in Monterey Bay this evening. Yes, they are playing the champions of MLS, LAFC, but a lot of expectation that LAFC will make a lot of changes and bring through perhaps even some MLS Next Pro players. Could afford Monterey Bay the chance to progress against MLS opposition for a second round running after knocking San Jose out of the last round.
You're expecting an upset there, Chris?
I actually am.
Interesting.
I saw their game at the weekend, commentated for MLS Season Pass, their game against San Jose. And after getting through in the Champions League and playing another away league match at the weekend, a large expectation around the club that there would be a lot of changes for that game going from Saturday to Tuesday. Here's Taylor.
When we spoke to Jim Curtin about the importance that he places on the US Open Cup, he reminisced of his Chicago days when he said that there was only 2 trophies you could win, the Open Cup and the league. So he always had it as one of the things that you had to go 100% at, you wanted to win, and he takes that mentality with him to Philadelphia, so he sees it as vitally important.
Still romantic about the Open Cup. Wants to win it. Wants to use his squad to do it. Taylor. Cross taking deflection. Another corner here for Minnesota United. As far as the service has not proved threatening enough.
Great opportunity here from this set piece just before half-time. See if Rosales can deliver the service to put Minnesota in the lead.
Referee will hold play here as there was contact in the area. Boxall having to be separated there. Further talking to as well.
A little bit of argy-bargy, as they used to call it in high school.
I have heard that expression before. I almost used it, but I felt like that would have been cultural appropriation on my part. Rosales will swing into the area. And there's one there by Ua, but it'll come for Blake. A little shoulder in the back there from Brent Coleman. It will be a free kick. We are told, and now then, players having to be separated as Damian Lowe was not too pleased with a little bit of extra contact in there from Coleman.
Yeah, Lowe needs to be careful. As we mentioned earlier, he's one of the players that picked up an early yellow card, so see him there just obstructing the run of Coleman.
Well, we'll have to be careful in this second half, but for now, that is the conclusion of the first half of this contest, Minnesota and Philadelphia. As you said, Chris Nurse, a cagey affair. We've only had the one shot on target from Mikal Ua. And both sides are looking to try and find some more quality to progress to the next round of the Open Cup. It's one and done each and every stage of this competition. I think you feel a little bit of those nerves through 45 minutes as your score at halftime is Minnesota United 0, Philadelphia Union 0. We'll come back with first half highlights and kickoff of the second 45 minutes. Not too long.
On May 5th, 2023, Atomic Data CEO and co-owner Jim Wolford unexpectedly passed away. Jim was a selfless and compassionate business leader, mentor, human rights advocate, husband, father, son, brother, and friend. Jim was an entrepreneurial spirit and an exceptional changemaker who, through compassion and kindness, contributed to and led multiple philanthropic efforts and nonprofits. Jim will be painfully missed by so many, including all of us at MNUFC and at Atomic Data. Your leadership and compassion will forever live on.
Scoreless after 45 minutes of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Fourth round, Minnesota United 0, Philadelphia Union 0. Chris Whittingham and Chris Nurse here for the commentary of this one. And Christmas was no doubt a cagey affair in the first half. Not too many changes as I'm going to take you through, or not too many chances rather, as you can take you through the first half of this one via the highlights. And Minnesota, what little they could create, mostly came from wide areas. There, the chance from Hassani Dotson just sliced.
Yeah, it just doesn't connect with this as clean as he would have liked. A great opportunity to get a shot on target, but unfortunately slices that ball a little too much.
A few of those half chances would come the way of Minnesota's central midfield players. That time, Torres going over off the giveaway from Robin Lod.
Yeah, you can see the way Torres strikes this. This ball just continues to rise and rise and rise, never dipping under the crossbar from that range.
Trying to strike quickly as it would here. He would actually be the best chance of the half. and it came from seemingly nothing from U.S.
Yeah, you wonder here whether he was going for the cross or a shot, but sometimes strikers have these crafty ways of getting shots on target, and here wasn't too far away at all.
Yeah, Mikal U.S. from a wide position looked like he was going to try and find Chris Donovan making a run into the area, but instead sailed it over, and then here, Rosales' strike from long range, just going wide.
Yeah, you can see just opens his hips here, tries to bend this one into the far corner. You can see Andre Blake scattering across his goal line, wasn't taking any chances.
And then Minnesota, latter stages of the first half, cross in towards Garcia, but it'll come for Rosales again. This time, Lawrence trying to find the Honduran, and again his strike sliced high and wide.
Rosales does well to keep this ball alive here, plays the ball out wide to Lawrence, continues his run into the box, but just unable to get a clean strike on the ball and get the shot on target.
And live scenes now, we'll see how long these managers leave these two teams out. Quite a few changes, although I did see one change being ready. It does look like Will Trapp will come on in that midfield area. You imagine Lud might be the player who makes way as he is on a yellow card, but these rotated sides, 5 changes for Minnesota, 7 for Philadelphia. I wonder if maybe the second half is when things start to click into gear a little bit.
Yeah, I think neither manager will be ecstatically happy with the way their team performed in the first half. They may be happy with the energy, with the commitment, with the determination, but from a quality standpoint, there was a lot to be desired. So I imagine in the second half, both coaches will want to see their teams playing a lot more quality, a lot of getting the ball down and playing with a little bit more purpose and creating more goal-scoring opportunities. It took us very long, maybe into 37 minutes before we actually had one shot on target.
And both of these sides will try and find the answer in this second half. And confirmation of that change, it is Robin Lod who will make way for the introduction of Will Trapp. The club captain will enter to that central midfield area. So Adrian Heath taking no chances with the player who is on a booking. Go down to 10 men in the second half. We're not far away from kickoff. Minnesota in the black kits with the light blue accents. Philadelphia, the yellow shirts with the blue shorts. The yellow socks as well. Another sharp-looking chain strip on this Union side. As Minnesota fans will indeed try to find the bright side as we enter the second 45 minutes, hoping for their team to win at home for the first time this year. All their wins have been reserved for their travels in league play. We've seen them win 3 times, taking 3 points here at home, but never in one bunch as we're underway in the second half. Allianz Field in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Substitution for Minnesota United in 46 minutes.
And that will be very frustrating for the fans of this organization, for the owners of this organization, for the players, for the management, that they've been unable to get wins at home, because wins at home is essentially, you know, your bread and butter, where you're in your own environment, where you make your home a fortress, where you make it very difficult for teams to come into your home and get points. And Minnesota haven't been able to win at home so far this season. So it doesn't matter whether it's the Open Cup or whether it's regular season, getting their first win at home is huge to switch in that momentum.
This ball hit long up towards Mikal U.S, who stays on, the designated player from the start tonight. Here's Torres charging forward. It's Donovan with him, but Minnesota back in their numbers, playing out of a back 5 tonight. Introducing another center back in the shape of Brent Coleman, who anchors that back 3. Rosales putting in multiple challenges. Honduran impressed last year. His time with the club. Actually have a couple assists in the Open Cup. Let's go with a couple in the league. Flo turns and plays back to Blake. Just for the viewers watching on platforms of Bleacher Report, we are having issues with the usual scorebook graphic as U.S will have the chance into the area. His pullback is cut out there by Coleman. So I'll try and periodically tell you how much time it has gone. We've had 2 minutes of this second half. And it remains Minnesota 0, Philadelphia Union 0. Corner to come for Philly. Made a great run in the CONCACAF Champions League, knocking out Mexican opposition in Atlas. Before going out to LAFC at the semifinal stage. It's whipped in towards that back post by McGlynn. A long distance effort from Harriel, always rising, and into the stand.
Optimistic effort, to say the least. But it would have been something exceptional to beat Irwin from that distance.
Clint Irwin. In goal tonight for Minnesota United's second start of the year. Here's Dotson. And DJ Taylor has warded off a few right-back challengers. Alan Benitez last year. Zarek Valentin, who was available from the bench this year, has remained the regular right fullback. And today, right wing back. Here he is again, pinned by the corner flag. Away there from Real. Here's Will Trapp. So often a great dictator of play. In the middle, Will Trapp. Down the years for Columbus and Inter Miami and now Minnesota.
Yeah, good start to the game for Will Trapp. Just trying to keep the ball moving in the center of the park. Switching the point of attack.
Dotson's low cross. Dealt with there by Elliott. And Real seeing his clearance out for the throw. 49 minutes gone. Minnesota 0, Philadelphia Union 0.
Minnesota just starting to a little bit more dangerous to those runs in behind and those low-driven crosses into the box.
Real's throw. On back here by the Loons, but Donovan attempting to press to win it back. Philadelphia very aggressive in their forward press, like to close things down and quickly.
And that's where you have to give Donovan and Euro credit. It's the mentality that they have as centre forwards and the willingness to go and pressure the centre backs and put pressure on them. Sometimes that leads to you creating your own luck. You put the defenders under pressure, and then that opportunity comes when they cough up possession, and that's where you get your goal scoring opportunity. They haven't had great service fed to them, but they've still been resilient in their work ethic.
The referee changing his mind there and eventually awarding the throw as we have our graphics back up. See the current scoreline in the Open Cup fourth round. Minnesota 0, Philadelphia 0. 4 full-time results. 4 teams through to the next stage. Inter Miami have beaten Charleston Battery by 1-0. Charlotte FC have beaten Orlando City by 1-0. The holders out. Have yet another USL team beating MLS opposition, this time away from home. Pittsburgh Riverhounds have beaten New England Revolution by 1-0. And now,
I think these two are playing a game of Twister.
yeah, the contest. Boxall and Ua getting stuck in. Bit UFC there.
Only thing missing underneath there is the polka dot mat.
Left hand red.
They can't decide whose turn it is. The referee's trying to decide.
It's the last time you played a game of Twister.
Not me. I'm not that flexible.
Well, it's been about 20 years for me. Michael Boxall over the free kick. Described as a consummate professional by Adrian Heath. Back four when he was given a new 2-year contract. Adrian Heath did say that he earned this in his play and leadership. It's a nice turn there from Rosales. Here's Taylor. And Real forward ball. Intercepted and won back by Nathan Harriel. Tries to start the break here. Donovan at full stretch just to keep this one in play. There's the undrafted player out of Drexel as the cross comes into the area there from Harriel, who will come forward, and a straightforward catch there for Clint Irwin.
Good counter-attacking play there from Philadelphia, exploiting those wide areas, as we spoke about earlier in the game about Taylor and Lawrence when they press high up on the field when Minnesota are attacking, and the opportunities they're left out wide on the counter-attack. Just unable to deliver the final pass of any quality, but there you saw Philadelphia able to exploit that space.
Lawrence, his low service is cut out there by Damian Lowe. Bueno. This direct ball in towards Andres Perea, breaking lines and finding Mikael Ua. Might have another crack from a narrow angle. And this time, Clint Irwin dealing with it a little bit more of a straightforward fashion.
He's not scared to pull the trigger. Any angle when he's in the final third and he gets a sniff of goal, he's ready to pull the trigger. But you can see clear intent now to get behind Lawrence, to get behind Taylor in these wide areas. More intent than there was in the first half.
I would imagine the goal, though, would be to get him a bit more centrally, because those are narrow angles he's striking from.
Yeah, he's just, maybe he's hoping if the keeper's able to make a save and parry it off, one of his teammates can get the tap in. But it took 37 minutes for us to get our first shot on target in the first half, so happy as took just 8 in the second half.
More of an attacking output we're hoping for in the second 45 minutes. Rosales, edge of the area, in towards Sang-Bin Chong.
Rosales has been good for Minnesota tonight. He's been very good at breaking up plays, but he's also been the key player in joining the attack and getting into the final third and making those key passes. He's been great on both sides of the ball.
I think that squad rotation in Open Cup and other competitions does offer is the chance for players to make impressions and potentially get into the week in, week out selection in the league. Salas might be taking his opportunity. Here's Matt Real. Nicely in behind in towards Torres on the turn. Again, trying that long distance hit. It's a tame effort. Comes for Perea. Struck it with venom right at the Minnesota goalkeeper, Clint Irwin.
Great strike then from Perea with not much backlift. He didn't have much run up or any swing on that shot. Just got out his feet and drove it. Keeper was well positioned to deal with it though.
Minnesota had no problems attempting to play out from the back. Time Tapias's ball, not enough on it. Changing passes amongst that back three, but tiny play in possession at times. It's not always let the chances down the other end.
The second half definitely picked up a little bit more urgency than the first half. The speed of play's got a little bit quicker. You can see the mentality and the body language of the players is a little bit more urgent than it was in the first half.
As Torres tries the clip in towards the near post, Donovan was trying to make that late arriving run, but didn't get there in time. Philadelphia all of a sudden packing a bit more pressure on the Minnesota keeper. He's had some work to do his first 10 minutes of the second half. Boxall. And again. Let's go there. Nice ball around the corner as well from Rosales. Boxall. Linda Garcia warding up the challenge there of Bueno, who goes down. Probably waiting for the contact. It came. Sold his way into the free kick.
Some good play there from Boxall just to get himself out of tight areas and keep that play alive. Good pass inside there to Garcia, who uses his body well to protect it and win the free kick from Bueno in the center of the park.
The Venezuelan not to have committed the foul. It's the last guaranteed year of his contract and make enough of an impression to stay here. Philly. It's low. Challenge in there on Sang-Bin Chong, who's trying to get around him in something, but Lowe had Marshall out of play. But before that, the judgment referee had won a free kick.
Damian Lowe doing a good job there just to use his body and protect the ball, keep his team in possession.
He's playing club football in Egypt for moving to Inter Miami last year. Regular starter for them, but to trade him in the offseason. $225,000 back Miami's way, Philadelphia. Donovan. Will be a throw here. Going the way of Minnesota United.
Strong presence of Jamaica national team players on the field tonight.
You have Lawrence, you have Blake, you have Damian Lowe. Regular parts of the Jamaican national side. Minimum 50 caps for the trio of them. Interesting era in Jamaican football. Through a lot of dual nationals. England, most recent cycle gone by. Nice play to get Philly going forward here. Forwards interchanging nicely there, Donovan and Ua. As Donovan tap dancing around Tapias, inviting the challenge and winning the free kick.
Smart play there from Donovan. He saw the defender coming and just pushed the ball past and got his body in the way so he could get the contact and get the free kick.
Being carried by both Dotson and Tapias there. The Mexican made an impression on Adrian Heath in a summer friendly as it quickly taken free kick will come to Bueno. It's low service. Cut out the near post still. Torres. His hit takes a deflection. Harriel challenged off it. It's a sharp recognition there from McGlynn that the quick free kick was on. Low has to come off him on the carom. Yeah, second ball still here for the Union.
Smart play there from McGinn. Just puts the ball down and plays quickly, not giving Minnesota the chance to get organized and almost leads to a goal scoring opportunity there.
As Dotson was clipped there. His forward ball. Advantage might have served Minnesota there. Referee allowing quickly taking free kicks on a couple of occasions there as we approach the hour. This Open Cup tie. Still nothing to separate United and the Union. Hassani Dotson. Michael Boxall. Nice flick there from Sangmin Jong. Dotson, though, running straight into trouble. And Ua start the break. Boxall getting around him. Ua felt like he was fouled. But we play on here through DJ Taylor. Flick around the corner in towards Jong. And the cross from Taylor. It's away from Lowe. Michael Boxall venturing forward a bit more. This right center back position in the back three. Thought he was a central midfield player there for a moment.
Wild strike there from Boxall. Was never threatening the goalkeeper, but interesting to see how long it's going to be before we start to see the likes of Fragapane, of Carranza, of the players who can really come in and make a difference. Speaking of all the games that Philadelphia Union have played recently, this is their third game in just a week. The last thing that they're going to want is extra time. They're going to want this game wrapped up in 90 minutes so they can try to protect some of their players and prepare for the future games. So going to be interesting to see at which point both teams start to make substitutions to go for the win.
Nice. Ua tries to play it on there for Donovan. He's fouled there right on the edge of the penalty area. This is a free kick to come here for Philly in a dangerous position.
Ua just does a good job of using his body there to keep play alive. He has it under control, loses it a little bit, but he stays with it, keeps competing, keeps fighting for the ball. Great opportunity to score from this set piece right on the edge of the box.
And Fotis Bazakos giving Philadelphia a little bit more room there on the free kick. Normally difficult to get it up and down from just outside the edge of the area. Those extra couple yards could help out the Philly free kick takers as there will be another change here for Minnesota.
Number 7,
And it's a double change action. The end is Bongi Longwane and Franco Fragapane will enter. And it's Saimbing Jong and Mender Garcia who will come off here. So Hukle Longwane will enter. And South African, who's one of the bright performers for Minnesota in this early season, will be McGlynn, Torres, or Elliott. It's Torres going around the wall and forcing Irwin to parry. Donovan, his subsequent return ball is palmed away by Irwin. Could still fall in the area, but away further still from Trapp. Decent strike there from Joaquin Torres on the free kick. Now Minnesota could look to break. To Usani Dotson, nice carry through the midfield.
Referee did well to allow play to continue there from the high kick.
Rosales' ball in towards Longwane. Not quite what he was looking for. It does look like those two attackers that have come on have settled as the two strikers in this system. Only playing as wide players for Minnesota. Elliott for Damian Lowe. No Jakob Glesnes available for selection tonight. A few players left home, along with Ali Bedoya.
And it's Minnesota who've made the more aggressive attacking changes to try and get that first goal. Bringing on the likes of Fragapane, who has an eye for goal, has the ability to make that final pass from midfield. Dangerous free kick whipped around the wall.
And a change coming here now for the Union as Daniel Gazdag will come on. 22 goals and 10 assists a year ago. 4 goals, 7 assists through 10 games in the league this year. Strong performer, the Hungarian. He's become a full international. The Hungarian national team it's in towards Lawrence there. There's too much pace on it from Longwane. Player who brings an infectious smile to the group. His energy. It's a key part of the mood around the camp. He's telling local media he's just a happy guy. He's happy, always laughing around the group. Also bringing a real dynamism. Playing club football in South Africa. Spotting by Adrian Heath's technical staff is free kick. Given there is Coleman. Looked like he might have been caught there by McGlynn, but referee awarding a free kick.
Risky play there from Coleman. 3 Philadelphia players around him, put him under pressure, trying to steal the ball off his toes, but he does well here to win the free kick in the end.
Torres, I beg your pardon, who put the challenge in. Results in the free kick. Small around the corner there from Donovan. Dapias trying to head away from the danger, but it does come out for Philadelphia throw-in the away side. Only found stable footing here in this second half, creating chances, shots on target. Minnesota under pressure through 20 minutes. Harriel. Able to control it, and Taylor able to get rid. And could Longwane start something on the break here? Running with Fragapane into the penalty area. Franco Fragapane and Damian Lowe with yet more solid defensive work, but lost his footing there at the final moment. Does concede the corner, but dealt with that initial danger there.
Yeah, Damian Lowe does well to read the play here and intercept the pass, but just would have liked to keep that one in play and probably set it further upfield for a throw-on, because this is a dangerous opportunity here for Minnesota to deliver the ball into the box from this free kick. But you can see the temperature turning up now for both teams, pushing to get that first goal.
It'll be Rosales over the corner. Swung in towards that back post, headed away. Out towards Will Trapp. Lofted in towards that penalty spot, but Harriel getting it clear. DJ Taylor, though, coming across. Despite the appeals for handball, we play on. Fragapane just about getting in towards Taylor, and Longwane! Clever header. And the opening goal for Minnesota United. Tanguy Longwane, his third goal in all competitions. Off to a good start in this season. And a nice finish there.
Give Taylor the credit here for delivering that ball with his weaker, with his left foot. Plays the ball forward, stays connected to the plate. Overlapping run, gets out his feet. And Longwane here with his glancing header into the far corner gives Andre Blake no chance and gives Minnesota the lead. 1-0. I think we're going to have to find out the name of that celebration.
Hukle Longwane, the South African, coming up big in the cup. And it's a bit against the run of play. Minnesota find the goal. Philadelphia most have been the ones creating the chances in the second half. But it's Minnesota who hit the front.
And talking about Adrian Heath and his ability to find a way to win games, making those substitutions of the right players at the right time. What a way to impact the game when you come in. But you have to give DJ Taylor a lot of credit for creating the opportunity, the quality to deliver that ball with his weaker foot, with his left foot, picked out Longwane's head, and he makes no mistake glancing that ball past Andre Blake.
I do love the call and response goal announcement. The crowd well up for shouting the name of Bonga Hukle Longwane. Surge of noise through the stadium. I don't know if we might have to survive these next few moments. This could be another chance here. Dotson around the corner. Into the goal scorer, Longwane. Charging at that penalty area. Challenge in there from Elliott. Disrupting the flow if only momentarily. Kamar Lawrence. Low through. National teammate. Damian Lowe in the way.
And you can feel how that goal has given Minnesota now a little bit more pep in their step. They're on the front foot. The fans have got a little bit more energy. They're the first of things. They're reacting first to things. Interesting to see how Philadelphia are now going to adapt to try and get themselves back into this game. They're definitely not going to lie down. We spoke about how they were runners up last year. They definitely don't want to go out at this stage of the competition. Carranza is still on the bench. Going to be interesting to see how long before he comes into the game.
Here's Buxall. Taylor. Longwane again in space. Plenty of inspiration into this game. Longwane looking for his brace. And Lowe getting something on it. It will be a corner. South African has made an impact.
Well-timed tackle there from Damian Lowe. Had to be well-timed because he's on a yellow card, and anything less would have seen him having an early shower. But dynamic DJ Taylor has had a positive impact. But Longwane here, right foot, left foot, trying to get his shot off with his left foot, but Lowe does well to intercept that.
See Rosales pointing to the ground there, saying he was ready to take on the strike. He's ready to take on the corner. Looking towards that penalty spot. Lowe rising to win the header. He's often involved. Rosales have a second bite at it. Lowe again in the way. I feel like I keep saying that. Damian Lowe involved again and again in repelling Minnesota United.
Extremely important for this Philadelphia backline. He just has a way of attracting the ball to him and being there at the pivotal moments to make those crucial tackles and interceptions.
Full-time result in Chicago on a night in which they were honoring the 2003 Open Cup champs. Jesse Marsh and Chris Armas in the house. Chicago Fire have knocked the expansion side St. Louis City out of the competition. Marin Haile Selassie on the score sheet along with Fabian Herbers. A late goal from Miguel Perez, only consolation. We've had 5 full-time results. 2 new managers getting wins in their first games in charge. Frank And Klopas in charge of Chicago Fire, now getting a win, and Troy Lesane now in charge of New York Red Bulls after the mutual parting of ways. Gerhard Struber in New York. Lesane getting a win over DC United by 1-0. So 5 teams through the 8 games we'll have tonight in the Open Cup. It's the only one going on at this moment in time.
Pittsburgh beating New England, USL Championship team knocking out MLS opposition.
It's Gazdag around the corner in towards Donovan, who hadn't started his run. Normally when that happens, Chris, it's usually the USL side at home. It's about a 50-50 proposition for the USL side at home in the Open Cup. But away from home, my colleague Mike Watts has run the numbers. It's about an 85% proposition for the MLS team to win at home. But those odds defied by Pittsburgh tonight. Longwane into the box. Nice cutback, leaving Damian Lowe behind him. Still Longwane, leaving it for Rosales! But the inspiration is Bongi Longwane. Scores the first goal, creates the second. Rosales applying the finish, and Minnesota are off and running in this round of 32 tie.
For the work Rosales has put in tonight, he deserves that goal, but this is not going to be a highlight Damian Lowe wants to see back. Sells himself here, Honwale does ever so well, again here. And then lays it off for his teammate, who makes no mistake placing this into the back of the net. What an introduction as a substitute coming off the bench. Positive impact. Your manager cannot ask for anything more when he brings you in. Minnesota now in full control of this game, 2-0 ahead.
And what a performance. Bongi Longwane coming off the bench. A lovely bit of skill there. Saw in that earlier move about 3 or 4 minutes ago where his strike went off of Damian Lowe and out for a corner that Rosales, who was pointing to feet, he was ready for the cutback. He's been ready for the cutback. Makes no mistake there. And now Philly turning to Julian Carranza to try and change it. Turned away a free kick, won there by Philadelphia. It's Andres Perea who makes way for Carranza. And the Union have a little more than a quarter of an hour to save themselves here in the Open Cup. Avoid going out at the first attempt. 2 additions to the tournament running. McGlynn.
You saw Longwane's ability to just drive at players, stop and change direction so quickly, makes it so hard to mark.
Change there to the area. Carranza felt like he was fouled. He's rolled over, but referee Bosacos unmoved. And it's clear there from Boxall for the throw.
We spoke about how important Rosales has been in this game for Minnesota, and I think it's absolutely fitting that he was the one to get that goal. Being connected to the playing defense, but also so key in the attack. Longwane obviously does all the hard work and just lays it off for him. And with the quality he has in that left foot, makes no mistake putting it into the back of the net.
Joseph Rosales putting in a solid performance. Here's Gazdag. McGlynn. Right side, Torres whips into the area, and it's awkward there. Off the left boot of Tapia, slices away. A couple changes will now come here. Kervin Arriaga. Zarek Valentin will enter. 2 wingbacks will come off, DJ Taylor and Kamar Lawrence. So Minnesota using their full allotment of changes. Worth noting that was Joseph Rosales' first goal for Minnesota United. 42nd attempt. What a night for him in terms of performance and remembering this occasion.
You wonder, Chris, it can never be looked at as a positive, but you do wonder whether this will now mean for Philadelphia they have a stronger focus on the league. In the space of a week, they could be potentially out of 2 cup competitions.
Right.
And now they have the opportunity to get all their players healthy and focus back on the league. and start to pick up the momentum and form that we saw from them last season. Of course, it's going to be a punch to the stomach to have yourself knocked out of 2 tournaments in the space of a week, being a stronger team and the expectations that they have as an organization. But I think it also sets the rest of the league at alert, like, hey, these guys now have a re-energized focus.
And Donovan with a chance, and Philadelphia are not done yet. Chris Donovan from nothing, getting the goal. And now then, it could be a nervy final quarter of an hour for Minnesota United as the Union have one back.
And we spoke about Donovan and his relentless work ethic. He doesn't get good service here. He creates this opportunity of his own willingness to chase down balls. Great first-time finish. Gets his team a goal that could potentially get themselves back into this game, but we spoke about him being starved of good service. His just willingness to work and close players down, creates opportunities for himself, creates his own luck.
In some ways as well, prototypical of the Union press there, that it's just a deflection off of Carranza, not even a pass, that creates that chance as Fragapane unable to control. And now, this game has suddenly sprung to life. Hoping for a shot on target earlier as Torres not pleased there with Tapias. Booted the ball off of the Argentine while he was on the ground.
Tapias just playing some mind games there with Torres, but this can go in either direction. Sometimes that can be the lighter fluid that ignites the player and drives up the fire in their belly to now go back into the game for those last 10 minutes and give it everything they got.
McGlynn. Header one there by Tapias. And Harriel in towards Jesus Bueno, into the penalty area, strike taking a deflection, trap in the way, and the strike coming through, and it's just wide there from Nathan Harriel. He felt like it took a deflection on its way through, but it will be a goal kick. And suddenly the Union are not far away from an equalizer here.
Not far away at all. I think it was Will Trapp doing well to block the initial drive through. Stopped the shot there from Bueno. Harriel follows it in, and that's not far away at all.
There's more U.S. Open Cup action ahead tomorrow night as 4 matches will be streamed live on the BR app and BR Football's YouTube channel. Wednesday's coverage kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern as Cup-set-minded Loudoun United host Columbus Crew. The fun is to stop until Portland Timbers and Real Salt Lake renew hostilities at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Visit usopencup.com for the full schedule and links to watch all the action. Open Cup on the platforms. Bleacher Report.
Minnesota have made 5 changes. You wonder whether it was just a little too soon. But since those changes have happened, Philadelphia start to get themselves back into this game a little bit.
Good Minnesota at a key third. Rosales trying to measure the strike. Comes off of Harriel and out for the corner. Minnesota won't want to defend purely for these final 10 minutes. They want to try and add to their now 1-goal lead.
So it's so interesting when you see players in the last 10 minutes start to tap in their wrists and wanting urgency. When that wasn't displayed in the first half of the game, they could have had that same urgency in the opening half, and it was nowhere to be seen.
Traplov's in the corner, and chasing it to keep it in play there, Fragapane. And just unable to keep it in play there is Elliott shielded. Minnesota will try and keep Philly deep in their own corner. Juan and Rosales created the goals in quick succession to give Minnesota the lead. Philadelphia won back quickly through Chris Donovan. It's Eric Valentin. Fragapane dispossessed there. McGlynn didn't want to get his head up and find the next pass with Carranza. The challenge came from behind, but Straight out for a throw. Minnesota unfinished business in this competition after going out to third-tier opposition in 2022. Want to move into the round of 16 draw, which will happen on Thursday. You mentioned, Chris, about Philly potentially being okay with going out of this competition. Fixtures come quickly. Midweek in the league next week for most of the teams. Then it would be the Open Cup the following week. And then quarterfinal stage 2 weeks after that. So in quick succession.
I don't think they'll be okay going out, but I think it will definitely send a warning sign to the rest of the league that the Philadelphia that you may have seen so far may be a different Philadelphia that you're going to see going forward in the future. Given that, yeah, they're going to be upset, but there's going to be a refocus now on regaining that dominance that they showed last season.
And all their focus will turn to the league. I appreciate the clarification, but still time left here for Philadelphia to keep themselves alive in this competition. They'll want to win every game they play. Here's Blake. How will they go about chasing this equalizer? First goal seemingly came from nothing, but they very easily find Minnesota in a deep block here. Out wide for Real. Nice low driven ball through the area. Laid off for Torres. Not the first time tonight. Torres having a long distance effort, ill measured.
Torres just guilty of leaning back on this one too much. Great opportunity here. Just get it on target. Force the keeper to make a save. Tons of bodies in the box. It could deflect and go into the back of the net, but a couple times tonight he's just leaned back too much and the ball's just skyrocketed over the crossbar. They've done ever so well to work that ball from one side of the field, switch the point of attack to the other. Fantastic driven ball into the box. He has time there to pick his corner. Just not clinical enough tonight.
Bueno. And Gazdag. It's really making an impact on this game. So capable of providing it, though. Real's cross. Away from Tapias, but Harriel trying to keep it in play. This sliding challenge ineffective, and now Arriaga can get Minnesota driven forward. Longwane, the danger man for Minnesota tonight. Dispossessed, if only temporarily. The Loons. Now Trapp having a go. His strike off the back of Jack Elliott. And Blake at full stretch to try and keep it in play. Did it go off for the corner? I believe it did. Set piece to come for Minnesota. Still to come later tonight in the Open Cup. Monterey Bay, LAFC, Sacramento Republic, home with Colorado Rapids, last year's runners-up of the Open Cup.
You can see a little bit of gamesmanship here from Fragapane, and no rush to get this corner kick back into play. You can feel the fans' excitement on the fringe of potentially getting their first home win of the season. But it's not over yet.
Scar is being whipped. Fragapane's corner comes here for Dotson off the header from Arriaga. And Dotson trying the acrobatics, but getting it wrong at the vital moment. Philadelphia looking to get on with it quickly. Low. In between lines up towards Carranza, but his touch a bit heavy. Booted out for the throw. And now changes coming here. McGlynn off for the introduction of Wagner. Leon Flock coming into that midfield area. Wagner can create so much from fullback. It's Bueno who makes way for Flock. Basically a starting team out there for Philadelphia. Or Chris Donovan have the goal.
Jim Curtin describes Wagner as the best fullback in the league.
Fragapane trying to get turned, surrounded by the entire Union defense. Longwane with Dotson, just keeping it a bit here, edge of the area. Michael Paxall and Valentin. Donovan letting it run, and Gazdag on here for Carranza. Now Torres finding the challenge. Free kick given. Chance for the Union to get numbers forward.
Arriaga there playing silly games with the referee. Pretended like he was stopping the ball and toe poked it away.
Worth noting, since you mentioned it was Joseph Rosales' first goal for Minnesota. That was Chris Donovan's first goal for the senior Philadelphia Union side. Scored 8 goals for Philadelphia Union too. Landmark night for him as well. Whipped into the area. Header won there by Coleman. Now Flock. And Torres again from long distance. And again, high and wide of target. Doesn't mind having a go, but the accuracy eluding him on this evening. The 2023 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup ramps up over the coming weeks as the tournament's trophy comes into view. Tomorrow night, watch as the winning clubs face their fate in the round of 16 draw. See all the exciting matchups as they're made on the BR app. BR Football's YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's on Thursday.
You have to give credit to the way Minnesota have defended. You know, the opportunities that they've given up has been Torres taking long shots from way outside the box that have not been threatening to the goalkeeper whatsoever. And I think that's a credit to the way that Minnesota defense has set up and not allowed Philadelphia essentially to get into the box too often.
As the referee will stop play here as Fragapane's ball around the corner hit him. So it'll be a drop ball in the favor of Minnesota. That was Torres' 6th shot of the evening.
Last thing Philadelphia want to do here is be giving away little free kicks. It just allows Minnesota to kill the clock and just time waste a little bit more. No need to give away this free kick here in this situation.
The pull of the shirt there for Chris Donovan, and I think a yellow has been shown towards Kai Wagner, who continues to have a go at Fontes Pizzacos. So for dissent there. The yellow card, and as you mentioned, Chris, not exactly ideal time for Philadelphia to get involved with this sort of thing.
Yeah, the bickering and talking to the referee at this stage of the game just waste their own time. They want to get the ball back into play. The longer they take to get it back into play, the more it works in favor of Minnesota. They just kill all the momentum that Philadelphia could potentially have now going into stoppage time.
As we are into second half stoppage time, Minnesota will take their time over this free kick. Just having to see out the final minutes here. Fragapane can't control. Be a minimum of 4 minutes to be added at the end of the 90. It's 4 minutes for Philadelphia Union to save themselves in the Open Cup. Jim Curtin told us about wanting to see his side in one and done situations.
You can see the urgency now to just get the ball forward, get it in the box, get it in the final third, and try to make something happen with just 3.5 minutes remaining in this game.
Trap in the way. Low. Just trying to get it forward. Anywhere will do. Better one there by Arriaga, and nicely handled there by Dotson. Longwane now trying to get other side there of Elliott.
Great tackle there from Elliott.
Dotson dispossessed. Torres being harried. Advantage being given and eventually awarded, and a yellow card shown to Joseph Rosales.
That's a naughty tackle there from Rosales. He knows exactly what he's doing. He wants to kill the momentum of Philadelphia going on a counter-attack. Make sure he stops the play.
Heriel. Low pull back in towards Carranza. His touch heavy. A couple of times to the Argentine tonight. Gazdag unable to control. Trying to Perry to win it back. Referee allowing play to continue as Boxall continues his run forward. Now he's got Longwane in behind for Fragapane. Will he go for goal? Will he try and take it to the corner flag as Low Cross is cut out there by Low? Now the Union can get going forward. Up towards Carranza. Shoulder in the back there of Brent Coleman. Grains of sand falling through the hourglass.
Cheap free kick to give away there from Carranza. Defender's facing his own touchline. There's not much he can do apart from see the ball out from a corner. He's now given control back to Minnesota, who you can see again slowing down the play. But Carranza's had some good positions in the final third. His first touch has just let him down on a couple of occasions. He's not been able to get the shot off.
Trapp winning the header. Philadelphia just trying to regain possession by any means necessary. Elliott with a nice step. Gazdag for Harriel. Trying to poke it behind. Torres is making the run, but it still comes for Harriel. Now Torres shots for offside, but Torres cutting on it. Clips into the penalty area. Wagner measuring the strike, and it's the equalizing goal! At the last, Philadelphia Union have drawn level to save themselves in this Open Cup. From 2-0 down, Philadelphia Union have just about sent this game into extra time.
For me, I don't know why Tapias is defending with his hand in the air. Leave the hand in the air to the referee. Your job is to make sure that player doesn't get the ball into the box. He has his hand in the air, the ball comes across, and Wagner, Jim Curtin spoke about him being the best fullback in the league. He's come into this game and come up absolutely massive at the biggest moment when his teams needed him. The first tackle, Rosales goes in to win it, doesn't quite win the ball. Tapias puts his hand up for offside. When it's not offside, stops playing. Ball comes into the box, Wagner makes them pay. Open Cup drama.
After a first half that did not feature much, this second half has sprung to life. And just when the Union were down and out, we're heading to 30 minutes of extra time. And if we're still tied after that, penalties.
And the pendulum is definitely swung now in favor of Philadelphia. The momentum has completely turned. We were talking about Minnesota potentially getting their first home win of the season, and they've thrown that away now. 2-2, and Philadelphia now brought on the big guns who are definitely having an impact on changing this game.
And for Kai Wagner, his first goal for the club since October of 2021 to draw this game level. As we can now get to our full-time highlights, show you the goals. And Minnesota looked like they were going to comfortably see this one over the line when they got the game's first goal. Taylor for Longwane.
We spoke about Taylor here, staying with the play, delivering this ball with his weaker foot, his left foot. Longwane guiding this past Blake into the far corner.
And then Longwane, a tremendous bit of inspiration here, sending Damian Lowe the wrong way. Inside of Perea, on for Rosales, bang for 2-0.
Longwane here, chops Damian Lowe like a piece of steak. Then lays it off perfectly for his teammate Rosales, who's been fantastic tonight, who makes no mistake, burying this into the back of the net to give his team 2-0 lead. But the game wasn't over yet.
And then Chris Donovan taking advantage, seemingly out of nothing. It was a clear ball forward there off of Carranza. Here from Will Trapp.
Creating his own luck with his willingness to work hard, put defenders under pressure, makes no mistake with that one-touch finish.
First Philadelphia Union goal there for Chris Donovan, and then last knockings of the game, cross to the back post, and Kai Wagner with a tremendous strike.
Wagner, calmness, composure, clinical. Came up key when his team needed him most.
And what a hit that is. Into the ground and beyond Clint Irwin. Minnesota United scoring from their only 2 shots on target. But Philadelphia, they packed on the pressure, to be fair, in the second half before Minnesota got their goals and eventually were able to get back into the game and draw level.
And we spoke about the fatigue building up for Philadelphia Union. This is their third game this week. Now they're going to go on to play 120 minutes. I think the momentum is heavily in their favor. I think they've got a bit between the teeth. I think they're going to go after this heavily in extra time.
And now, 30 minutes to come. Headed into two 15-minute periods. We'll see how this game shakes out now. Brent Coleman trying to get the wonder wall going. And we'll have to try and figure out a way to get his team going. They've made the 5 changes. A lot of them came when Minnesota felt like they were comfortable in hanging on to a lead. But now a different task for the likes of Zarek Valentin and Kervin Arriaga.
Minnesota definitely feeling sucker punched. The wind taken out of their sails. They were cruising this game 2-0. They thought they had it in full control. Took out both fullbacks, Lawrence and Taylor. And now the momentum has completely changed in favor of Philadelphia. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pick themselves back up now and try and regain some control.
Does look like Joseph Rosales is playing left wing back. This makeshift team, after the changes have been made, only one substitute left for Adrian Heath. It's Cameron Dunbar, young former LA Galaxy player. Throw in for Nathan Harriel. The referee is going to ask that take a few steps back and actually take the throw from where it was given. Union right now, a large number of their starters currently on the field as Flock just pops it up over towards his right side. Carranza up top alongside Chris Donovan. You have Gazdag, Flock, and midfield along with Torres. Wagner has come on as well. Starters to change this. Players who are part of the free-scoring Union team of a year ago as Wagner could go for it again. Carranza, again unable to control the touch at the final moment. So he made that run in behind that Minnesota defense.
Wagner feeling himself right now, gets that ball out his feet and tries to take the half volley shot on goal, but just didn't connect with it very cleanly. But the magic in this game has definitely come from players coming off the bench. Hlongwane for Minnesota and Wagner now for Philadelphia.
Torres. In towards the byline. Challenging from Tapias. And it came off of the Argentine last. It will be a goal kick.
You can see Torres' positioning has significantly changed from earlier in the game. He was playing more centrally as a 10. Now you can see him out on the flank playing as an inverted winger.
Second straight cup tie that Minnesota got goals in quick succession. They did it against Detroit. They got a third. Eventually hang on to the 3-1 lead. Able to hang on to the lead. After goals in the 68th and 73rd minutes. Rosales on for Hlongwane. To get him going again. Nice 1-2 there with Fragapane towards the byline. The pullback is in towards Fragapane, but the offside flag is up. It's not like usual MLS play. We don't have VAR. So once the offside flag goes up, it is up and kills the play. This does look like Hlongwane and Fragapane were combining well.
Hlongwane's willingness to pick up the ball and be direct and drive at defenders is a huge plus to this team. He drives at Damian Lowe, plays the ball off to his teammate, continues his running behind. Unfortunately, just offside, but you can see what he brings to this team. He gets defenders backpedaling, creating space and opportunities for his teammates and himself by continuing his runs.
Coleman going over the head there of Carranza.
Thought that was definitely going to be a free kick there. Coleman was up extremely early for that header.
Trap. Arriaga. Long Longwane, who scored the first and created the second.
I don't know, Chris, but I feel like this Open Cup so far has been notorious for late goals.
Yep. Late goals and late drama.
Late goals and late drama. I think has been a consistent theme of this Open Cup so far this year.
I was commentating in the last round when Memphis 901 got a late penalty against Atlanta United. Eventually knocked them out of the competition.
San Diego and Seattle.
Yep.
Tied a game, almost the last header of the game. Then win the game with a penalty, almost the last play of the game.
Gazdag returning for Torres. Felt like he was fouled there by Trapp, but the referee fine to let play continue. Hassani Dotson. Outside of the boot. Finds Eric Valentin, but he had not fully made the run forward yet. Valentin in his first season here with Minnesota, arriving from Houston Dynamo.
Dotson has to be a little bit more responsive in possession of the ball there. He gave up very cheaply. In this phase of the game where bodies are starting to get tired, there's going to be phases where you don't see the ball for long periods of time, and the last thing you want to be doing is turning over possession and chasing. When you've got it, you've got to keep it, and you've got to make things happen with it.
Torres caught there. It will be a free kick. Salas has certainly done a job moving out to left wing back. So strong in the middle of the park, but changes that Adrian Heath has made move him out to that left side.
And Rosales, he's done that from the first minute to the 95th minute so far. He's been closing down, putting the midfielders for Philadelphia under pressure for the whole game.
Real. Player who's no doubt made an impression. Rosales potentially stake a claim to a bigger first-team role. Carranza gonna flick it in behind in there for Gazdag. We'll find his target as some Philadelphia players are slipping and sliding on this pitch. Fragapane in towards Longwane. Trying to get the beating of the Jamaican again, who is not going to get beat for a second time. This one is side a free kick.
Lowe again doing a fantastic job there, just getting his body in between the player and the ball. Longwane probably as fast, if not maybe a little bit faster in terms of acceleration, but he does a great job of making his body a huge object that he has to go around first and winning a free kick for his team.
Coleman heading away for a throw. Here's Wagner. Provided that late drama. It's a decent strike. Torres. Stefan Carranza running in behind. Fragapane unable to control. Time for a throw. Now, we'll be back to the cagey stuff of the first half. Wide open second half. Great goals, but now sort of back at the stage where neither team really wants to lose it. Sort of experience that Jim Curtin wanted to value for his side. We mentioned it in the late knockings of the second half. Win or you're out competition. Having to scrap for that late equalizer. Done it in MLS Cup. Done it in the Champions League. Here on a Tuesday night in the Open Cup. Wagner in towards that back post. It's a punch away from Irwin. The catch looked on. Donovan.
And I think what he means by these competitions and more games like this is the mentality that it brings to players, and that something you always try to drive into players is to play every game like it's your last game. And in cup competitions, that's literally what it is. You either win the game or you're out the competition. And I think it brings that kind of mindset to the players.
Chance for Fragapane to get forward. He wants some help, though. It's up towards Longwane. Just not enough pace to get it towards the South African, and it was Leon Flock in the way. We are told that Adrian Heath will make use of the 6th substitution available to him. By virtue of this game going to extra time and Cameron Dunbar will enter for Hassani Dotson. The next opportunity for a substitution. Here's Will Trapp.
And you wonder if Adrian Heath is thinking in retrospect.
Nice ball from Dotson in towards Longwane into the area, trying to pull it back in towards Fragabane, but as expected, it's Damian Lowe in the way, and it's a corner to Minnesota.
Good
now,
defending there.
Referee will allow the change.
Lowe and Valentin, I think, doing well to block that cross, but in retrospect, you're wondering if Adrian Heath is thinking, did he make those substitutions at the right time that then allowed Philadelphia to get a foothold and get themselves back into the game? It's easier to always think about what could have been done, but maybe when he reflects on it, so many changes at one time had an impact on the flow of the game.
Former LA Galaxy homegrown Cameron Dunbar enters the contest. Just 20 years of age. Has to make an impact in these final 20 minutes. It's Rosales will whip in the corner, but the referee will stop play before it was officially taken. And it'll be Flock. Change as well coming here from Philadelphia. Jeremy Raffanello will enter. He's gotten plenty of experience in MLS Next Pro as that corner is dealt with there initially.
Again by Damian Lowe.
So many defensive numbers. Headers and clearances and duels won and blocks. He's beaten for that second goal as Arriaga goes down, and he is going to give a yellow card to the referee for simulation. Arriaga was looking for it. Carranza pulled out of the challenge, and no surprise that the Honduran has his name taken.
Referee made no mistake here. He's 100% sure here. The second Arriaga here goes and throws himself to the floor. The referee chases him with a yellow card, making sure he gets away with no play acting there.
Catch a little bit of his boot there.
Ah, no chance. Bounced, trampolined himself into the air.
Valtis Bazakos certain to give a yellow for simulation. The crowd might have just seen the replay. Thought that should have been a penalty to the Loons. Here's Dunbar.
And while it is clever, you know, it is part of the game, it's something that we want to see less of, right? We want to see penalties given when they're authentic. You don't want to see somebody sell it and then the referee's in a tough situation because he maybe didn't see the right angle to make the right call, but I think that was 100% the right decision on that occasion.
Also, less of a safety net for referees in the Open Cup with no VAR. As Rosales shielded so that his side can win a throw. And now I think Minnesota fans want simulation shown here to the Union player who's thrown himself to the floor. I must confess, cannot see from our vantage point who the player is.
Well, the difference is he's not throwing himself on the floor to try and win a penalty kick because he's off the field.
Can't win a penalty from there.
There's a difference in throwing yourself to the floor and impacting the result of the game. And it looks like he's authentically injured anyhow, the way the medical team are attending to him right now. He's off the field, referees allowing play to continue, so he's definitely not getting an advantage from that.
And Longwane is flicked in! Philly were temporarily down to 10, and Bongi Longwane, what a night for the South African. 2 goals and an assist, and Minnesota back in front at extra time.
Longwane has had an absolutely devastating impact into this game for Philadelphia. But what a fantastic driven ball into the box. He does ever so well here to get in front of the defender. I think it's Valentin who he gets in front of, uses the outside of his foot and puts it past the goalkeeper. Andre Blake conceded for the 3rd time tonight, but again, Longwane having that tremendous impact from the bench into this game for Minnesota United.
And Rosales scored from the assist of Longwane for the second. And there Rosales turning provider for Longwane. And what a ball driven into the area that was. And Minnesota have a lead yet again, and about a little more than 15 minutes to defend it, which is about the situation late on in the second half. Philly made it 2-1 on 78 minutes. Minnesota United couldn't hang on for the final 16 minutes. Can they hang on this time?
Longwane coming off the bench in today's game has been an absolute game changer for Minnesota United. He's literally taken this game by the scruff of the neck, put his team on his shoulders and carried them through this game so far.
As impact sub gets. Here's Jack Elliott.
He's the type of player defenders have nightmares about. Whether he's picking up the ball and driving you, making late runs across you, you always have to keep such a close eye on him. There's various ways of breaking through the attack.
Remarkably, only started playing organized football at age 18. And at 22 is making an impact here in Major League Soccer and in the Open Cup.
It's an incredible story.
Didn't play in any academies in South Africa, didn't play in any school leagues. Took up the game late. His offside flag is up there against Philadelphia. Just the 1 minute to be added on. What a spot from the scouting staff of Adrian Heath.
And at 22 years old, there's so much more to come.
Given the current form he's in, you can start to imagine him perhaps making runs for Manuel Reynoso now. Can only be a force multiplier for the player.
And this is a unique, strange situation now for Minnesota, because if they relax too much, they're going to allow themselves to just be under pressure from Philadelphia, and there's still 15 minutes to go. So do they drop off and now allow Philadelphia to come at them, or do they continue to attack and leave themselves wide open?
That's what I imagine Adrian Heath will be discussing now with his players as we reach halftime of extra time, and it's Minnesota 3, Philadelphia Union 2. Minnesota United now with a decision to make in terms of approach. Which way would you go, Chris Nurse?
I think with the energy that the players exuded over the course of the game, I think that they tried to play it on the counter. They keep themselves nice and tight and compact and don't make themselves difficult for Philadelphia to break down. I think if they keep going after the game and leave themselves wide open, they create opportunities for the likes of Carranza to get on the ball and have those moments of magic to punish them. So I think they have to adopt that approach where there's a balance of counter-attacking, but being very disciplined, organized, and compact when they're out of possession.
And now let's have a look at the goal. It starts that confrontation by the corner, but then Rosales whipping in, and Longwane turning in.
And Longwane has been the key player that's come off the bench and had impact. But Rosales has been that player on the pitch that's performed consistently for 105 minutes so far, whether it's been defensively. He has the quality in those wide areas to deliver that ball into the box. He's broken up plays, make tackles. He's been the key player who's been linking the defense to the midfield and the attack. Rosales has been a little bit of everything tonight. Scoring goals, creating opportunities, and doing the dirty work for his team. I think Adrian Heath will be very happy with what he's got from Rosales tonight.
Just to fill in the details on the incident that preceded the goal, it was Joaquin Torres who was trying to draw the sympathies of the referee prior to the throw, and then was off the field as that goal went in, then went right to the referee to plead his case and earned himself a yellow card. So Torres has earned the booking, and that little bit of trying to work the officials and try and win something there. Not exactly go well for him. We'll have kickoff now of the second period of extra time. 15 minutes for Minnesota to hang on to the lead. 15 minutes for Philadelphia Union to claw back for a second time from a deficit. And stay in this tie and perhaps force penalties.
the game management is going to be so key for Minnesota in these remaining 15 minutes. Keeping possession of the ball, slowing down the tempo as much as they can. There's going to be periods of this final 15 when they're going to have to defend resolutely as a team. And this is really where their defense is going to be tested. See if they can keep a clean sheet for the next 15 minutes.
4 of the back 5 will have played the full 120 minutes. No real fresh legs available to Adrian Heath. The one defensive substitute he had available he made in Zarek Valentin, coming on for DJ Taylor. Otherwise, Boxall, Coleman, Tapias, and Joseph Rosales, who's moved to left wing back, gone the distance. The only players on the pitch, in fact, for Minnesota to have gone the distance.
There you see Owen, just using his experience. He's taken as long as he can in these moments, just to drain every second off the clock.
Arriaga flicking on. Longwane controlling ahead of a couple. There for Dunbar. Longwane trying to pull it back through the area. No one there to meet it. Rosales now. Fragapane. Back for Rosales. It's far too heavy. Rosales had carried on his run anyway.
The night Rosales is having, I thought he was going to wind it up and crack that first time with his left foot when he was coming outside the box, but just tried to slow down the tempo of the game, keep possession.
It was the perfect angle on the pullback for someone to come meet it and have a hit. There's Elliott having a second bite at it. Carranza trying to let it run. Rosales, though, a couple of biting challenges. Carranza again.
Great job Rosales there of just winning the duels, 50-50 balls. He comes out on top.
Irwin about getting rid. Dunbar. Sliding pass across. He's sending it straight to Nathan Harriel. It's Gazdag. Moves back to his feet. Lofted in by Torres. Away from Valentin. You see Wagner again in that forward position. Could he have another hit for yet another goal? Never a foul there. Longwane. And Trapp.
Longwane just unable to get the ball out his feet there to his teammate who was making the run.
Team put his hand in the air to apologize. Longwane now perhaps try and win a corner off a low. To try and get rid towards the central area. The high bounce, though, will come for Carranza. And a free kick given. Smart advantage awarded there by Fotis Pazakos. Back in play by the Union.
I don't think this game's over yet, Chris. I think with the late goals we've seen, I think there's still one more in this game. I don't know which way it goes. I still think there's, in the remaining 12 minutes, there's one more goal left.
And we'll see which way it'll go.
Both teams are tired. You can see players on the ball now having a little bit more time than there was early in the game when they were getting closed down quickly.
One-touch passing coming off here for Philly. Gazdag. Has a couple of forward runners, but he's footing there. Now Longwane. Looks around the corner. Gets the beating there of Jack Elliott for pace. It's going to be a free kick, and it'll almost surely be a yellow card, as Longwane was away and was going to get the beating there of Jack Elliott, who had no choice but to put the challenge in.
I was just about to say, the last thing you want to do here is be in a foot race with Longwane, and Elliott wasn't going to win that foot race, but made sure he took him down, didn't allow him to get away from him. Now he has to be very careful in these remaining 10 minutes.
It is indeed a yellow card. I'm certain if the Minnesota fans were appealing for a red, that might have been a bit harsh. Now Valentin to put it in play. Longwane was slow rolling, running behind. Valentin looking frantic, trying to find an option. Chips it into Dunbar. around him there from Wagner. Maybe a throw.
I'm not sure I agree
Minnesota.
with that there. It's a little bit too early to be going to the corner. There's still 10 minutes to play. Well, I agree, you do need to manage the game and try and drain the clock. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to keep going to the corner flags for the next 10 minutes.
Valentin. Dunbar. Gets the beating. Pull back is in towards Fragapane, who was measuring that first time hit. Defensive intervention, but it is a throw. No time off the clock here. Dunbar. Trap. Nicely dinked in towards Valentin. Nicely on there for Dunbar, who couldn't control it. Elliott has given it away, straight to Brent Coleman.
Bad giveaway there from Elliott. There's 5 players from Minnesota down in this bottom right-hand corner. There must be space on the opposite side of the field to break and attack. And he gives it away on this same side of the field.
Throw in deep in Philadelphia's end. Won't want to get stuck here. Carranza just trying to charge. Throw an arm out at Coleman. He couldn't control it. Arriaga now heavy touch, and Harriel has poked it on here for Joaquin Torres. Just favor the cut back onto his preferred left. Now can get his head up and look for options. Harriel. Torres again. He's had so many hits from long range. Could perhaps one of them pay off for a goal. To draw this game level once more. Real. And Kai Wagner's cross is overhit. Able to keep it in play there. Nathan Harriel will be a throw to the Loons of Minnesota United. Wagner, who provided 15 assists in MLS a year ago from fullback. Able to find the right bit of service there.
You can see Torres trying to get on the ball in the middle of the park and just trying to find players in those little gaps. He does have the ability, he does have the eye and the technique to find those key passes and thread the ball through the needle into the final third, but just not seeing those players in those positions and players making those runs. He's having to play sideways a lot of the time rather than forwards.
Gastag. And Matt Real. Flock felt like he was fouled behind the play.
Philadelphia have to keep the tempo high. They have to keep the urgency. There's only 7 minutes left in this game. They've got to try and keep the ball in the final third for as much as possible to create those goal scoring opportunities. Playing back to the goalkeeper and recycling looks great, but possession's not going to win you this game right now. You need to create goal scoring chances.
Switch it out towards Wagner. Comes off him last and out for the throw. Having a little bit of words with Valentin as well. He's not really having it either. Michael Boxall with a long run up to that throw. And another one will come the way of Minnesota United. Heathside looking for a second win in this tournament, knocking Detroit City out in the third round. Philadelphia entering at this stage.
And coming into this game, Minnesota haven't won in their previous 5 games. Only won once in their previous 5 games, sorry. That win coming against Detroit. So this will be extremely big for their confidence going forward.
That's what the Open Cup can offer. Torres around the corner, but unable to find player in fellow Union colors. Nice interchange there. Longwane around the corner. Dunbar was in behind. The foul came in. It's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the area. And I think some Minnesota fans will want a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity red, but it is just a yellow and a free kick against Matt Real.
Yeah, and there's no argument there from Real whatsoever. You can see he just accepts that one from the referee. And he's probably happy it's not a red because he's through on goal here. There's no chance there's any defender getting across. Damian Lowe maybe, but I'm sure he would have got a shot off before that happened. think Real can kind of self-fortune in that situation.
It's fortunate that's not a red card, and honestly, if this game had VAR, that one would probably be checked.
And you see his arm was out in a kind of unnatural position where he got contact with him.
So he knew what he was doing.
Smart.
Yeah, honestly, given the circumstances of the game, a fairly brilliant yellow card to take there from Matt Real.
Unless they get punished here. Minnesota look like they're cooking up something special.
Yeah, 4 players over it. Just off the aggressive posture, it does look like Arriaga will fancy it, but why not Rosales? Fragapane involved as well.
Rosales here could go around the outside of the wall.
One thing we know is that they'll take their time.
Yeah, they're in no rush.
5 in the wall in front of Andre Blake. Here is Gervin Arriaga. He'll leave it for Rosales to have a hit low towards the corner. Saved by Blake, and Dunbar couldn't turn in. And the flag stayed down. A golden opportunity there for Cameron Dunbar, who just couldn't apply the finish.
Rosales does well here to force the save out of Blake, but Dunbar, so easy to turn that one into the back of the net and knocks it wide. He gets good contact on the ball, but just unable to guide it on target. That would have been game, set, and match had he finished that one, but now Philadelphia on the attack again.
Still a little more than 3 minutes left to play. Does this one have another twist in the tail? Would be remarkable. Minnesota led by 2-0. 17 minutes left to play.
Great pass there from Elliott.
Gave the lead away.
I think he's doing the right thing here, finding himself forward as a centre forward with only a couple minutes left.
And 6'6" size could be used. These balls get sent in. Rosales, an awkward ball forward. Flock there to try and recover it. He's about done so. Off of Fragapane. Harriel now. Gazdag.
You've got Elliott in the box. You've got to deliver the ball in there to make him a threat.
Harriel. And Lowe getting the cross in. Header one there by Arriaga, but popped high into the Minnesota night sky. No handball there as it's just lofted in. Rosales heading away, and it will go out for a corner. So for a chance to equalize, Philadelphia will now send everyone forward.
Wasn't the best ball into the box, but it was just enough to keep the pressure on, to keep them in the final third. These last 2.5 minutes of the game. We spoke about Elliott now is almost playing like a centre forward, so it's imperative at the 6'6" that they try to get the ball into the box to him.
As Wagner will play it in. Lowe is in there, but Longwane won the header. Torres at full stretch to try and keep it here for the Union. And just chip it back in to the penalty area. Headed away, Nathan Harriel on the recovery. Trying to turn away from the pressure. Will Trapp caught him. It'll be a free kick in a fairly dangerous position here for Philadelphia Union.
Are you going to see Andre Blake heading up to the box? 90 seconds left.
Surely, if not now, then soon. See what Philly can do with the opportunity. Carranza is over it. 4 on the wall. In front of Clint Irwin. Bruce big saves at times, but couldn't make that final one to prevent Wagner, who will take the free kick around the wall, and it is some strike! In the 120th minute, Kai Wagner has done it again! Drawing level at the death in regular time and drawing level at the death in extra time. We could be heading to penalties at Allianz Field.
We spoke about late goals in the Super Cup, and it has not left us disappointed. What a strike from Wagner. Keeper had absolutely no chance here. Owen tries to get across. What a goal. What a game.
Kai Wagner had not scored for Philadelphia Union since October of 2021. And a brace here tonight to save the Union's life twice in the same night. What a hit.
Big players come up in big games. And Jim Curtin said he's the best left back in the league. And I think he's shown that tonight. in the short period of time that he's been in the game, because he didn't even play the full game, but
right.
in the short period that he's been on, it's been outstanding.
And there is the full-time whistle. That was the last kick of the game. And the last kick of the game sends this one to penalties. What a game.
I think it's deserved. The second half from both teams were outstanding. The first half, a lot to be desired, but from the second half, both teams were going at it toe-to-toe. Longwire came in off the bench, tremendous impact. Wagner came in off the bench, tremendous impact. Rosales was fantastic all night.
And now Adrian Heath will have to pick his side up from off the floor yet again and get this team ready for penalties and figure out who are the 5 takers going to be. As we have a look at the goals, here would be the go-ahead goal in stoppage time for Bangilong Wane to make it 3-2.
This was when Torres was getting treatment from off the pitch, but what a strike. Goalkeeper stands no chance into the top corner. Phenomenal goal from Wagner.
Wow. Kai Wagner, 2 sensational strikes to put Philly in this position. And penalties were the end of the road for both of these teams in last year's MLS Cup playoffs. Obviously, Philadelphia more famously in the final, going out to LAFC in the MLS Cup final and failing to convert a single penalty in that shootout as well. Minnesota met the end of the road in the MLS Cup playoffs away in Dallas in the first round, only missing 1, and it was that man right there, the captain, Will Trapp, who missed his take. I believe Minnesota won the coin toss there. So we'll see how these 2 teams will approach the shootout.
I think you're looking at 2 teams with never say die mentalities. We thought it was all over when Minnesota were in the lead 2-0. Philadelphia come back 2-2. Minnesota then pick themselves up, take the lead 3-2. Philadelphia then find the momentum to get themselves back into the game 3-3. And I think it also comes down to the testament of both coaches and their ability to motivate their players at the right time. We spoke about Jim Curtin and being a man manager and the relationship he has with players and the way he's able to communicate them. And Adrian Heath obviously being a master tactician, knowing when to tweak things, when to make substitutions, how to manipulate his team to get the best out of players at certain points of the game. Obviously the introduction of Longwire was absolutely monumental in this fixture. I think we saw the best of some of the top head coaches out there tonight.
And we'll see how these 2 teams approach the end. I think what we can definitely say now has been a proper cup tie in this U.S. Open Cup. And now, Philadelphia Union players in the huddle. Minnesota players already gathered on the halfway line. Andre Blake, the captain, will try and be the hero in goal. Will shoot towards the Wonderwall.
I think anybody who missed this game tonight will regret it tremendously. The magic of the Open Cup did not let us down.
No doubt, no doubt. On a night that we saw some cup magic in New England with USL side Pittsburgh Riverhounds knocking New England out of the tournament. And still 2 home USL sides playing right now. LAFC lead away at Monterey Bay by 1-0. Colorado lead away at Sacramento Republic by 2-1. Still plenty of time for those games to change. Irwin and Blake getting the final instructions from referee Bazakos, and it will be Minnesota to take first at this end. And it will be Franco Fragapane to take first. 3-3 at the end of 120 minutes. And now it comes down to the shootout. First up, the Argentine. Here's Franco Fragapane. Well taken. And Minnesota get off to the 1-0 lead in this shootout.
Andre Blake goes the right direction, but just unable to get anything onto the ball. Fragapane, calm and composed, makes no mistake burying this one into the back of the net.
Blake guessing that right way, just enough height on it. And now it will be Gazdag, who scored the winning goal at the weekend against New York Red Bulls from the penalty spot. And he will be the first taker now. See everyone in that supporters end trying to make a noise and distract the Hungarian. Here's Daniel Gazdag. Irwin the wrong way, and it's 1-1 after one round.
Gazdag does ever so well here. Just takes the extra second when the goalkeeper goes the wrong way, picks his corner and slots it away.
And now Will Trapp to take. As we mentioned, the lone player to miss in the shootout in last year's playoffs. And now to try and make amends. Will Trapp, the club captain, against Andre Blake. He does make amends. He converts as Andre Blake guesses the wrong way. We've yet to have a miss in this early stages of the shootout.
Great penalty kick here from Trapp. Sends Blake the wrong way, but buries his penalty kick into the side net, and goalkeepers don't save those.
So much drama, and it's big Jack Elliott. Sometimes over set pieces, despite his big size. He's got a right boot on him. Here's Jack Elliott, no fuss with either the run-up or the take. Well hit there by Jack Elliott, and we're level at 2.
Nice penalty here from Elliott. A little bit of power, a little bit of finesse. Strong enough to give the keeper no chance.
And it'll be Kervin Arriaga to step up now. So domineering in stature. From 12 paces away. Stature does not help. Just got to get it beyond Andre Blake, who leaps in both directions, trying to put off the Honduran. Here's Kervin Arriaga. Saved by Blake! The first twist in the shootout goes in the favor of Philadelphia Union.
Arriaga here with his unorthodox run-up, little steps. Blake guesses the right way. Fairly comfortable save for Andre Blake there. Not the greatest penalty there from Arriaga.
The 3-time MLS goalkeeper of the year with the save, and now Minnesota up against it here. A big take for Matt Real. Credited by Jim Curtin as potential starter in this league, just behind a great player in Kai Wagner. Can he convert his penalty here? Here's Matt Real, save! Round 3 is all square because both players have had their penalties saved. Blake first and Irwin equal to it.
Real knows where he's going when he steps up to take this PK, but Irwin guesses the right direction and does ever so well to get to this and save it. Level pegging.
2-2 with 3 rounds gone. And Rosales scored the second, provided the assist for the third, has been immense over the 120 minutes to send Minnesota United back in front here in the shootout. Here is Rosales, and it's Blake the wrong way, and Minnesota back in front.
You'd expect nothing less from Rosales with the performance he's had tonight. Complete composure, calmness, clinical. Sends Blake the wrong direction.
Now then, Joaquin Torres. He's had no problem shooting over the course of the evening, but has had a bit of difficulty finding accuracy. We would certainly hope that would not elude him here. 7 shots in total in the game, none finding the back of the net. Be a long run up for the Argentine. Big offseason acquisition from Montreal. Here's Joaquin Torres down the middle. And we're all level yet again. These sides have matched each other through 4 rounds as we head to the decisive 5th.
Good PK here from Torres. Just waits for the keeper to dive. Straight down the middle, makes no mistake on this occasion.
Well struck there by Torres. And now Cameron Dunbar will step up to take the last player to come into the game in the 100th minute. Arrived as a 20-year-old from LA Galaxy.
Had that key chance to close out the game after Rosales' free kick.
Can he give the advantage here to Minnesota? In the 5th round of the shootout, Dunbar tried to get Andre Blake to guess the wrong way. His dive late anyway, and Cameron Dunbar does the job.
Dunbar can count himself just a little bit lucky with that penalty kick. Does ever so well though. Blake, I think he'd be kicking himself that he didn't get to that one.
And now, a save here from Clint Irwin, and Minnesota will have about hung on. Carranza can keep this one going. Surprised we didn't see Longwane or Wagner take in the first 5, given the performances they put in. But it's Carranza to keep this one alive. This round of 32 tie. Here's Julian Carranza. And we're level after 5 rounds. 4 all. Carranza, a cool take.
You'd expect nothing different from Carranza in the form that he's been in since he arrived at Philadelphia. Absolutely fantastic goal scorer. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Never looked like he was going to miss it. I'm nervous.
You're not even playing. We have no dog in the fight. And now into winner-take-all situations. Coleman in the 6th round. Top corner. That's certainly not a center back's finish there. Brent Coleman giving Minnesota yet another lead. And now Raffanello on as a sub.
Great conviction in the way Coleman hits this. Knows where he's going before he even steps up and changes his mind, buries it, sends Blake the wrong direction.
And the Wonderwall hoping for a miss here. Irwin has produced 1 save. Can he produce a second to win it for Minnesota United? Here's Jeremy Raffanello, and Irwin goes left. Raffanello goes left. And we're all tied at 5.
Sudden death, sends the keeper the wrong way. Good penalty. Now as we get deeper into the numbers, you start to get to the players who are maybe not so confident at taking penalty kicks. So it gets a little bit more interesting.
Minnesota, no problem sending central defenders to the spot. Boxall will now step up after Coleman took in round 6. Arriaga and Real, the only players to have their attempts saved so far. Both of those in the 3rd round. Now, a long run-up from off-camera, Michael Boxall! Again, Andre Blake unable to guess the right way. And the New Zealand international, a cool take.
The penalty kicks have been very good so far. Boxall here, nice and composed. Blake dives the wrong direction, slots it into the corner.
And now the pressure again on Philadelphia. Their 3rd sudden death take, and this time it will be Damian Lowe. Put in yet another immense defensive performance. All that work matters for naught here. Against Irwin. Damian Lowe to keep this one alive. The stutter step, and Irwin diving the wrong way yet again. And we're alive after 7 rounds. It's 6-6 in the shootout.
Again, another good penalty kick where the goalkeeper goes the wrong way. And you just wonder how much preparation these teams put into penalty kicks coming into this fixture, knowing that the game turnaround was such a quick period of time. They didn't have too many training sessions in between the weekend games and tonight. but both teams have been very good in their penalty kicks so far. Into penalty kick number 8.
The run of central defenders continues. This time, Miguel Tapias, who started every game for Minnesota in the league. The ever-present to step up, and a confident take there into the bottom corner. And Andre Blake is really struggling here to get anywhere near these takes for Minnesota United.
Does ever so well. You see, he just composes himself, drives it as far into the corner as he can. Great penalty there from Tobias.
Now again, Philadelphia Union relying upon Kai Wagner to stay in a cup tie. He scored the equalizer in the last minute of the 90. He scored another equalizer in the last minute of extra time. And Kai Wagner has his attempt saved by Clint Irwin. He can't keep the Union alive for a third time. And Minnesota United are through to the round of 16 of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
You have to feel sorry for Wagner. Came into the game, his left foot was like an absolute wand, but when his team needed him to come up from the penalty spot, just unable to convert, and Minnesota United get their first win at home this season. Doesn't matter how they got it, whether it's PKs or in regular time, they will be advancing to the round of 16.
And it will be a sweet edition of Wonderwall here at Allianz Field for the first time heard in this ground at 2023. Minnesota win in the shootout 7-6. Let's enjoy a bit of these supporters singing Wonderwall here.
Fitting song. Today is the day Minnesota get their first win at home for the season.
And here a look at what proved to be the winning save from Clint Irwin. Kai Wagner, who's so immense throughout the tie, denied there. And Irwin didn't really have a lot to save there. You guess the right way, you make the save. The goalkeepers in full celebration there. Dane St. Clair in the middle of the celebrations. And Clint Irwin, the hero, as at long last, Minnesota United get a win here at Allianz Field. They're through to the 5th round of the Open Cup, knocking out last year's MLS Cup finalists, Philadelphia Union. What a game it has been. Minnesota United eventually hanging on and winning this one on penalties. 7-6 after it finished 3-3 after 120 minutes. Longwane, the hero in normal time. Irwin, the hero in the shootout. As Minnesota United have won 3-3, 7-6 on penalties for our tremendous Open Cup crew. My broadcast partner, Chris Nurse. My name is Chris Whittingham, signing off at the end of a proper cup tie in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.